It's Kelly from Power Motion Rehab. So what we're doing here today is we're going to go over an exercise routine that you can do within your hospital room. I know I don't have a hospital room here. This is a comfortable bed compared to the hospital bed, but we're going to kind of do a quick workout that you can do within your hospital room, whether you've just been in for kind of an infection, or you've been in the hospital for a couple days, or maybe you have a stem cell transplant and you just want a little bit more activity than maybe what you're getting with physical therapy at the hospital. Now, I will say with these programs, you need to make sure it's safe. So make sure that you're not doing these on your own. You shouldn't be doing this if you're feeling dizzy or if the doctors or nurses are afraid of you falling. Just make sure you're clarifying with the team that you're going to be doing some exercise within your room to make sure everyone's on board. I don't want you to have like a bed alarm on and you're trying to get up out of bed and it's going off and the nurses are getting frustrated, etc. So making sure that you're independent, you're not having any symptoms, and it's okay with the medical team. A lot of you might be getting physical therapy within the hospital, and that's great. Whether it's on rehab or if you're just in the hospital for a couple days after a surgery, things like that. This is just kind of another aspect that you can be doing along with physical therapy. The other thing is just making sure that you're allowed to do these activities. Now, if you just had recently like an orthopedic surgery, like a spinal surgery, or maybe you had some sort of abdominal surgery, you might not want to be doing these. These are exercises that are mainly for people that are just a little bit deconditioned. They're walking around independently. They're not having a ton of pain. There's not a lot of restrictions. These exercises are more for just kind of fine-tuning, as well as just maintaining your strength, maintaining your endurance while you're in the hospital for X amount of days. All right, let's get started. All right, so our workout of the day for our in-hospital stay, okay, is going to be 4 exercises with 1 rest break. So there's kind of like 5 aspects of each round. And ideally you want to do this at least 2 to 3 rounds. And it's probably going to take a couple minutes to get through the round. The idea with this is that we want to get your heart rate up, as well as to maintain your overall strength, your overall endurance while you're in the hospital. All right, so basically what we're going to start with is we're going to start with rows, okay? So I know this is not what you're going to have at a hospital, but I'm just kind of simulating what I have here at my house. So you want to have a TheraBand, and what you can do in the hospital bed is most hospital beds have like railings that you can tie things on, and most PTs will have TheraBand that you can have or that they can supply you within your hospital room. All right, so you're going to tie it up to your bed, and you're just going to do upright rows, okay? So you're going to try to do 10 on each side, and you're going to do 10 on each side. And the idea with this is you want good upright posture, okay? And you want to make sure there's enough tension. Again, there's a lot of tension here just because it's a different kind of band compared to what you might have. And the idea is you're just going to kind of pull back. These are just single arm upright rows, okay? So you're not using your bicep. It's mostly kind of working on your rhomboids, the middle of your back musculature. So you're going to come out and then pull back, out. And I'm going to move it so you can kind of see how my back's moving. So extend the arm. I'm not going too far forward. I'm not hunching forward. Nice, good posture. Chest up, upright. And then you're going to pull back with your back, not with your bicep. And you're going to do 10 on each side. Nice, slow and controlled. And then you'll switch. 10 on this side as well. All right. You kind of get the gist there. Okay, that's running through the exercise number 1. And again, this is kind of like a circuit, so you're not resting too much between exercises. Again, if you're having any symptoms, lightheadedness, dizziness, anything, take a break, let your nurses know. But the idea is that we're just kind of maintaining what you had prior to the hospital. All right, exercise number 2. So we're going to do kind of like burpees. So we're not getting on the ground. Number 1, you don't want to be on the ground in the hospital. Number 2, that's kind of unsafe. You don't want to scare anyone that you're on the ground for doing burpees. So basically what you're going to do, so again, you can use the hospital bed, kind of like the end of the bed to kind of use that as your upper body support. Or you can even use, oftentimes there's some sort of counter, or you can even use a wall, to be honest. So I'm going to use the end of this bed, and what you're going to do is, how we're going to do the burpee, is you're going to kind of get into a high plank, okay? So good posture, butt underneath you, upright. You're going to go down, push up, step forward, and a little jump. You're not going to get off the ground. The idea is that you're just kind of getting up on your tippy toes. All right, let's do it again. And you want to try to shoot for 5 of these. Again, legs back, good posture, down, powerful, up, step forward, up on your toes. That's 2. Again, you want to try to get to the point where you're doing these fairly quickly. Any symptoms, stop. 4, 5. Good. Exercise number 3. What we're going to do is we're going to just be marching in place for 20 seconds, okay? Again, nice upright posture. You don't want to be leaning too far forward. You can hold on to something, end of your bed, the wall, if you have a walker, whatever, if you need to. Now, if you're independent enough, which is what you should be doing, you should be pretty independent if you're doing these exercises, you shouldn't need anything. So again, good posture, and we're going to do this 20 seconds together. Ready, and go. So I like to have my hands up just to kind of give me a target. I'm not pounding my legs as I'm going down to the ground, but we wanted to make sure that everything's kind of controlled. You might feel it in your core. You're going to feel it in your hips, which is good. So we're working on our hip flexors, which are important for stairs, walking, really anything. But also just our overall endurance to get our heart rate up. All right, that's 25 seconds. Sorry. Exercise number 4. This last exercise, again, is going to be more of a duration thing. So we're going to do air squats for 20 seconds as well. So I don't want you to I don't want you to just do these. Again, if you're doing these exercises, you should be able to get to the point where you're at least a halfway squat. So how we're going to do this is, again, you can hold on to something if you need to. But ideally, I want you to kind of stand on your own 2 feet, literally, just to kind of maintain your balance, as well as kind of, so you're not taking too much weight off through your arms. All right, so first setup, how we're going to set up is you're just going to have your feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart. I like to open up my stance a little bit just because it just helps with the depth of the squat. And we're going to go down to about a half a squat. I'm not expecting you to go all the way to the ground. Ooh, crack. But I want you to get to about a half a squat, just so we're really honing in on our quads and our glutes to maintain the strength of that. All right, we'll do these air squats for about 20 seconds. I'll kind of go at an angle here for you. And ready, set, and go. 2, 3, making sure that you're breathing throughout all the movement, making sure that you're having good posture. I don't want you to be leaning too far forward. If you are, decrease the depth of your squat. And as you're coming up, making sure that you're giving your butt a little squeeze. And stop. All right, good job. And then we'll go straight into about a minute break, okay? The important thing with this break is that you catch your breath, you can sit, kind of just take a second to see how you feel before you go on to round 2 or round 3. Again, the idea is with these 3 exercises, you're doing them at least 2 or 3 rounds. Just because, again, we want to try to maintain that strength, maintain that endurance while you're in the hospital. And this is kind of an easy way to do it where you don't need a lot of equipment, but it works. And it's something, you might be restricted with space. Say you have a roommate, maybe your bed doesn't have like rails where you can tie a TheraBand. Maybe the PT department doesn't have TheraBands. So another way you can do it is, instead of using a TheraBand, if you have your purse, you can kind of go over and just do a regular row. And I'm sure most purses or bags that you have there in the hospital weigh a little bit more. You can do it with anything. I mean, there's always ways to kind of adapt things. It's just, it's important that we kind of maintain what you have. So when you go home, you're ready to do, the things around the house. You're ready to get back into your life. All right, so this round 2, I'm going to kind of just go through it the entire way without talking too much, just so that you can see how long it might take just to get through one round. All right, the first thing that we'll set up is we're going to just do, it's again, rows, modified burpees, marching in place, and air squats, okay? 4 rounds. This is our 4 exercises. This is our second round. All right, and then this round, I'm going to simulate doing a row if you just have like something weighted that you can use versus an actual TheraBand, okay? We'll do this together, 10 rows. So good posture with this. Ready, set, go. 4, down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything's tight and controlled, especially in your core and back. I always like to use this just to make sure I'm kind of taking some pressure off of my low back. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Exercise number 2. Let's go. We got 5 burpees. Remember, making sure that you have a tight core, good posture as you're doing this. Okay, ready? And almost fell. Ready, and go. Up. Step forward, up on your toes. Down, up. Step forward, up on your toes. Come on. 2 more. And good. All right, that's 5 burpees. Now let's go straight into those marches and go. 2. So again, we're doing 20 seconds of this. So I'm fairly active. Still, this is a good exercise. Just kind of get that heart rate up. And I'm already feeling, warm. And this is, you can tell, I'm already a little short of breath too. And this is a way just to kind of maintain that endurance. All right, 20 seconds. And then 20 seconds right into the squats. And ready. Remember, tight core, good posture, and go. So even if you're not doing everything correctly, that's okay. We're moving. And I know you're walking in the halls, hopefully, and you might be working with physical therapy, but this is just another way that you can really work on your strength and endurance while in the hospital. 20 seconds. And rest. Good job. So after a minute of rest, you would repeat that one more time, and that would be your 3rd round. So all in all, that probably takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes, if that. And doing that maybe once or twice a day will be good just to kind of maintain the strength and mobility that you have. Again, I'm going to say this again. If you need assistance walking, if you're having any symptoms, if you're having any recent surgery where there might be some restrictions, don't do these. And just making sure that you're clarifying with your nurse, with your physician, and with the physical therapist if you're being followed by physical therapy in the hospital. Because it's better to tell them what you're doing versus them coming in and seeing, that you're doing burpees on the hospital bed and then, you get in trouble. And none of us like that. So there's different ways to modifying things. This is hopefully kind of a first video of many to try to just simulate little things that you can kind of do in your hospital room, because I know that's a missing piece sometimes. I know you have pain. I know you're probably tired, whether it's, after a surgery, you've been in the hospital with, like a UTI or sepsis or whatever. But the important thing is, if you're independent, we want you to maintain that independence. We don't want you to go to a facility or not being able to go home afterwards. So these are exercises that, whether you're 40 or 70 and you were living an independent, or even older, and you were living an independent life before, these are exercises that can kind of maintain that independence, maintain that strength, and things that you can kind of do on your own versus having a physical therapist there every time you're doing it. All right, well, until next time, thanks for joining in, and hope to see you soon.